Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Do you mind productions? Do you mind 420? I know this is gonna be on a different channel that's not Do You Mind Productions. That's the one like for my music or whatnot. But yeah, my name's Damien. It's easily found. I used to do like some child acting and modeling. I wasn't in anything, but my name's out there. I also own Do You Mind Productions. I filed a DBA with my county years ago. It was right before the pandemic hit, and then yeah, like 6 months later, or it was like 9 months later. Um, the world changed, and yeah. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back. I mean, there's only a couple that are probably coming back. I don't know. They're subscribe. So I know that you're a regular viewer or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing like a intro to the videos on my future ones. I'm doing it on this one because it's been such a long time since I've posted. So I figured it was appropriate. But other ones, I'm just going to be jumping right into the topic or whatnot. Um, I I've always wanted to try to keep like a chill vibe, almost like if this was streaming, but I guess I need to just save that for streaming situations. Like I like the hangout chatting type of deal, but I think the video algorithm for YouTube is like quick edits. Need to just like I don't know, be glitching all over the place. I don't like it. Like it just distracts me. I mean, I know like for audio purposes, so there's really no dead space or whatever. Um, but yeah, and then also like I've figured out that looking directly into the camera is still an issue for me. It's like it's got to be like the autism thing. When I was younger, I had no problem with it. Maybe because the lenses were bigger. This is just weird because I'm like looking at this little tiny thing. Um, I do try to keep like the video up so I'm seeing what you guys are seeing, right? So many shadows right now. My lighting situation is crazy at the moment. Yeah, I definitely haven't been able to get the setup that I want. I mean, I have like the furniture and equipment and stuff. It's just a matter of my back. It's a matter of time. I've been so busy for the past. When was my last video that I put up? It was like February. Uh, yeah, like, and I've just been kind of like looking at the views that I've been getting and whatnot, and it's not many. I got more views on my music. That was cool. Um, I did start up a Fansly to see how the algorithm treats music and stuff. I didn't even know if it was possible or not to post music, but yeah, I made a post playing guitar over a song that should have been copyright protected. I don't know if they're counting it as a cover. I don't know, maybe I mean, it's free. Like, I'm not charging anything for it, so maybe they just can't do anything about it. Of course, I haven't been on there uh, a couple months, like since I posted it. I posted it, got a like and a couple follows from it, and I was just like happy. I'm like, all right, that's all I wanted. I just wanted one. I have no clue if I've got more or not. Should definitely check it out. It's just I've been very conscious of how my clicks are affecting the algorithm. I've been modding for a streamer on her Twitch and Discord, and I've been noticing that there's like, a lot of collaboration happening when it comes to the algorithm. A lot of people that are in the servers come across the videos and end up following, and it's cool. So I'm just being more aware of like, okay, so if I'm clicking on these things, then audiences from this are going to be going. I mean, I was already aware of it. I've just been more consciously focused on it. It hasn't been like in the back as like a subconscious thing. And that was kind of why I wanted to make this video. There's a couple things that I've been talking to people about, offering help for, and I've been trying to make myself available to help out for editing. So I don't know, maybe the universe is wanting something different when it comes to that. But I've definitely been working on modding, looking more into like, is it possible for me to stream what I want to stream and where should I be streaming it? Seems like no matter what, Kick is going to be the hassle-free, if you will. Like, seems Twitch is very picky and choosy. Like, even if one streamer gets away with something, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get away with it. It's very weird. And I don't know if that's directly on the mods themselves. Being a mod, I find that like you definitely have a control over that somewhat, but obviously it's up to what the streamer wants. And yeah, like even if you're not okay with something, if they're fine with it, you just gotta let it slide. You just gotta let it go. But then there are other communities where it's like, no, none of that. This is not the place for that. And I definitely respect that. But it's weird because it's like some will put 18 plus on their stream title and others don't, but do 18 plus type topics, content. Obviously, there's no like nudity or anything like that. I think some games are allowed though. It does seem like, I don't know, maybe if things get too crazy or out of hand, Twitch does something about it, but it does seem that there are certain titles that you can get away with. But yeah, I've been offering people help with guitar editing. Those things have come up, and so I'm thinking now is time to start posting again. It's been a couple months. I mean, it's not like I needed the break because I wasn't like crazy posting, but I mean the mind frame that you need, and I'm sure you've heard other creators talk about this, that it's like it's very hard to be focusing on multiple things unless they're on autopilot. Like if it's like this routine flow that you got down, then it's a lot easier. But even then, you're constantly thinking like, what's the next content? How can I get clicks here? How can I do this? And it's taxing on the mind. Definitely when other stuff outside going down and you just not only not have the energy but like the mental capacity to have, yeah, I mean, because like sure, I think for the most part people want to be real in themselves, but to be able to do this you need to have some kind of mask, if you will, a hat that you put on that's like, okay, camera time, creation time, and other stuff just needs to be shut out and forget about for the moment. But sometimes that's just impossible. Like, and definitely like if you're very strong on morals and you know that's and there's definitely a logic thing to it. Like if you're always trying to solve puzzles and fix stuff, you know, it's very hard when there's an issue that you can't help out with, but you want to help out with. And it's one of those things that it's like, it's a personal problem, right? It's like, you gotta just realize that, you know, There's nothing that you could do about it, and you don't want to accept that, but you just have to. And so, and definitely me not wanting to be a pushy person. It's like I let people do their thing, because a lot of the times pushing just makes it worse, even though it's, every once in a while it's what the person is wanting and expecting. Um, and they just, I don't know, they don't know how to ask for it, or they don't want to ask for it. Like, they don't want to seem like that they need the help, even though that they need the help. It's like one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be able to do this on my own. And it's like, well, I mean, what I've found from my life experience is that you can trick yourself into thinking that you've done things on your own, but when it comes down to it, there's always one other person. Um, I mean, sure, you could have done the majority and whatever, but there's always one other person, one other entity that makes the thing actually possible. Like, without that one other person, you could do whatever you want. It just won't work. It won't happen. Sometimes that 1% is exactly what's needed. The one thing that's needed. You could have 99% and it still doesn't go through, just because that 1% is the vital thing. And definitely when it comes to creation, I mean, we we see it on so many different levels: biology, physics, chemistry. You need two things. It's just the way. It's just the way of the universe. I don't know how else to explain it. I did a video, months ago about the E equals MC squared thing. I kind of touched on it. Like, I didn't get deep into it, because, I mean, that stuff, when it comes to the quantum physics and consciousness and tying that all in, I mean, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of stuff nowadays with AI and simulation theory and all that. Yeah. See, and I want to make content about that stuff. It just seems that the algorithm needs some type of focus. Like, if I wanted to talk about certain things, I need to start a channel to talk about those certain things, and then I have a separate channel to talk about other things. And it's like, I don't know. I don't see, if it's supposed to be a social media thing, then it should be like, you're coming to one place, you get the multiple things because that person is multiple things. And I mean, maybe that's what I've seen done in the past, where it's like, and eventually you start another channel. But at the same time, a lot of the successful ones have two channels to begin with. It's just one ends up growing more significantly than the other, and then eventually the other one, starts growing, because the other ones just want as many channels. Anyways, so this video isn't super long like my other ones. Definitely trying to be conscious of that. Right, because the long videos will be when I'm streaming and stuff. Even have my guitar plugged in. Think, yeah, see? It's like I can... It's like if I wanted to, right? Just start jamming or whatever, but who knows what melody is going to come out of me, and if it's going to get copyrighted or not. It sucks. Like I've heard people like just like giving lessons, and from what I've read, it is free use, but you have to go through the process of fighting it, and I'm not in that situation where I have people to help me out fight that stuff. I'd have to do it on my own, and that would just take up time and mental space and whatever. And when it comes to the other streamers that I've been offering help for, right, the etiquette of, I'm a mod for this one streamer and I want to promote her, and I did an episode promoting her, but like, if I'm not putting her in the description or putting a clip of her channel up, it's like, should I be mentioning her or the other streamers that I'm trying to help out? And is that like a conflict of interest? Because sure, I may be all about collaboration, but a lot of streamers are in competition mode, where it's like they don't want to collab, or they only want to collab with certain people. It's a very complex thing, and I mean, I think what it is that the industry is still so young. I mean, it's infantile. Like, we just started doing streaming and creation like over the past decade, really. I mean, I know it was, I I know posting videos and stuff was possible, uh, it, like, a couple decades ago, but still, that's think of the entertainment industry as just like movies and stuff, not music or anything, because music, that's like hundreds of years. But like the movie industry, okay, that's only been around 100 years, like, and they're still learning stuff on how to do it properly and experimenting with the medium, if you will. The industry itself is an experiment. I mean, they like to say, oh, we know how to do things right, and they do. They definitely got a lot of stuff down where it's like you need this, that, and the other thing to do it properly, safely. um, Hollywood has definitely got that going for them. Why do people watch? Why do people look at things a certain way, experience things a certain way? That's still all being studied and researched. I mean, we find things, we learn things, but it's definitely not a hard science, if you will. And so streaming and creating, like, as individuals, I mean, sure, technically that's always been a thing, but now that we have the tech and the ability to be out there on our own without management or a crew, people are just doing Wild West type shit. And what ends up happening is, like, you get people coming along, stealing your shit, copying your shit, and now because of AI, everyone's flipping out like, oh my god, what do we do? And it's like, well, I mean, the laws were already kind of there to begin with. It's about the authorities enforcing those laws. And when the authorities become the corporations that benefit off of those laws being broken, the laws are going to be broken. It's just that simple. They find, I mean, they're not breaking the laws because they're playing the game. They're paying the fines. They're pretty much being like, okay, if we exploit this, we make this much, and if we give pocket lint to pay off the whatever, you're still making shitload of profit. And they just can't turn that down. That's why I see like data becoming the way that we're doing like universal wage and shit. Like, if you're gonna have a business, at least in the US or whatnot, percentage of your shit goes to everybody because you're using their data to grow your shit. Now, if you only got like a certain amount of people or a certain amount of production going on, then yeah, maybe you don't have to pay that. But it's like, it'll start at 1%, 2%, 3%. We could do a 4%, but I would think like just keeping it at 3% increments, like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 for the really big guys, 24 for the really big guys. Because take Tesla for example. Okay, they gave 24% back to everybody just because they're using their data and information to figure out like usage, all kinds of stuff, feedback, like all these little bubbles that are popping up. Oh, give us your feedback, tell us how your experience are you paying me for that? No. Okay, then go hire somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about and ask them, hey, how's my shit? Like, don't use your customers that it's like such a messed up situation. Like, it really gets me going. But I believe that we as creators have the ability to turn that around and change it. Um, I thought that that's what Mr. Beast was going to be doing, just because you had the Pauls coming up, and I mean, I have to hand it to Jake. He kind of switched his shit around, even though he got into the this weird. Um, I don't want to call it crooked, because that industry, you never know. You never know what's going on with boxing or whatever. But at least he's not lighting shit on fire. At least he's not going through doing riots and whatnot. But his older brother is scamming people and all that shit, and then getting in bed with Mr. Beast and KSI. Like, I mean, it's weird, because like the whole thing with KSI and his brother, when that popped off, and then it's like, because I've been seeing it for like 10 years. You get these creator groups, and they obviously are talking about shit behind the scenes, planning shit, and they're like, hey, you know what, this year, me and you, we're gonna have a beef, we're gonna have a problem, but really we don't. It's just for the cameras, all right? So it's like they agree on this thing, and really they're clinking glasses behind the scenes, when on camera it's like, oh, they don't like each other. Yeah, and it's become this industry, and now, I mean, Hollywood was doing it with couples doing the fake marriages and shit, or contract marriages, whatever you want to call it. And now that streamers are doing it's crazy. It's crazy. And I shouldn't just say streamers, just creators in general, because not all of them stream or whatever. But it's really weird where the industry's gone. But back, full circle to why I started this, was because I've been offering advice to people, and one of the things that I've been seeing, that if you're streaming, if you're creating, file a DBA, a doing business as, with whatever county you're in. It doesn't matter where you're at. California, from what I've seen, is the only one that makes you file in like you got to have your name and whatever put into a newspaper, almost like an obituary or whatnot. But it's like a doing business as. It's like so and so is now doing business as, and then they put your business name and like a little thing. And I don't know if it's because of that, or just in general filing with the Hall of Records or whatnot with your county. But what ends up happening is like this algorithmic boost, if you will. And not just online, it's in real life too. You'll start getting sent shit for free. You'll get people like, I got I got this pen with like my name and business name on it, like, and it says owner and whatever, and the company just sent it to me like, hey, if you like these pens and want more of them, here's a free sample, and and it's just really cool. Got a U-Haul or a U-Line catalog, and those things, you can order whatever you want out of those things. There are so many things in those catalogs. And yeah, just being able to claim yourself as a business, you get discounts everywhere. You can ask for wholesale listings for stuff. And so one of the streamers that I've been looking at and helping out, well, I guess I haven't really been helping her out yet, but I've been like shooting advice recently, because she put up a section in her Discord that says setups. And so I posted a picture of my setup. She was like, oh, that's really cool. And so I was talking about the music desk that I'm using. And since I got it from Sweetwater, and the way that Sweetwater does their thing is they hook you up with a representative. And from what I can remember, because I was considered a business, they were able to hook me up with shit and help me out a little bit better. I'm pretty sure that it's standard for like every customer to get a rep. I don't think that's because of the business thing, but pretty much it's like when you're doing business as, it's a separation, and it helps protect you from so many different things. Because when someone comes after you for something, going after the business instead of you personally. So all your personal assets and stuff are protected. That's one of the big important things. But at the same time, you're able to claim more protection and security on your intellectual property. So people stealing your shit and making a channel as like re-uploading your stuff and whatever, that will be a no-go. Or if they're doing it, it now becomes it's already a suable offense, but being a business and doing business as so and so, you can claim it like right away. And the YouTube algorithm, I can guarantee it. This is why a lot of creators get the treatment that everyone's claiming that they're getting. It's just because they have a separation of their personal social security and their business tax ID. Like it's so weird, like why they have it that way, but it makes a lot of sense once you start looking into it. And one of the greatest things that I learned by doing all this, like years ago, a long time ago, was when I first filed. I lost my train of thought. One of the greatest things, because there's just so many great things. I've just been on a long wind, trying not to stop. Long stream, and I guess my brain was just like, nope, no more. Yeah, too many things got in the traffic jam at the intersection. But yeah, so protection, like I think it'll help with the AI, like people using your shit as AI. And this isn't directly to any one creator, okay? Not even just the ones that I'm helping out, all of you, okay? Like even if we don't know each other, never met each other, whatever, look into this stuff. And that's it. That's what I was gonna say. You don't even need to know that much. All you need to really know, like to get it going, is what I've already told you. You look on your county's website for the Hall of Records, and that's where you're filing. A lot of them, you don't even need to do them in person nowadays. I think even if it's the first time, you can just do it online. I think in California, you have to do it in person, or you have to do the first part in person, and then when you do the filing for the newspaper, you have to be in person for that. Or at least me personally, I liked doing it in person better than having it online. Even, I mean, sure, online's great. Like if you want to do the autopilot thing and just have it go and whatnot, I guess you can always hire someone to do it for you. Like I know a lot of, they charge so much though, and really, like, I mean, it's under $100 to file a DBA to get all the different things. Like you'll have a good chunk of change left over from that 100, even if you're filing with a newspaper or whatever. Because I think like if it's like 25 and then 50 on top, or 25 and 30 on top, yeah. And like I said, I think California is the only one that forces you to be put in a newspaper, so you don't have to. But I would highly suggest doing it just because of what it would do for the algorithm boost. But yeah, I mean, like it pretty much guarantees the ability of security and protection, and it's the first thing that you need pretty much if you want to eventually have a trademark, have a registered logo, have a copyright. Like all these are different things, right? And yeah, that's the stuff that you got to look into and figure out, and I can make videos about them or talk about it offline in Discord or whatnot if anybody wants help with that. And I won't charge you. I'm not going to do that crazy shit, even though, I mean, it is a good business, I mean, filing businesses for people, like, even if it's just a couple $100 a pop, you're still, you file it for them, and then you got like $100 left over or whatever. But if you're like helping out, doing a bunch of other shit, I could see the justification of charging $1,000 or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. I'm here to help. I'm here to collab. I'm here to network. That stuff is more important to me at the moment than money, even though I do need to eat more. I'm super fucking skinny. Another reason why I haven't wanted to be on camera. I don't like the way I look. Definitely with all these shadows, I look creepy. I need to figure out my lighting situation. Yeah, but I think that, yeah, I'll definitely go over this, see if it's postable. It's got to be, because I don't want to go through it again. But yeah, I'll definitely post again soon. More on other stuff, editing, stuff that I found about etiquette, you know, stuff. There are things that I think need to be like on a type of podcast, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you need another person for that. You sitting here by yourself calling it a podcast. All right, whatever. I know, what's a podcast really? You know, it's supposed to be like a discussion, like a radio thing, right? But not on radio. All right, I'm tripping. Okay, check you guys later.